Hello again everybody, and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to show you how I quickly and easily draw beards and mustaches, and sometimes I'll use it on hair. And up here this took me about 5 minutes, so you can see that in 5 minutes I've roughed out a pretty decent mustache. If I would have put hours of work into that, I could have made it look real. So the idea of this is I'm going to recreate this down here and try to do it in about the same amount of time and give you the general idea of how you can do a decent mustache. And the tools you'll need is a metal dotting tool, and I use this to emboss the paper, so when you scribble over it with the pencil it leaves the white lines. You don't have to use this, you can use a empty ballpoint pen or a cocktail stick. If you can blunt the end of it, it'll still do the same job. A pencil rubber, I prefer the Tombow ones. A 5B, a 2B, and I like to use a Lumograph 8B black because they go jet black, as you can see. Or you could use your darkies pencil or a piece of charcoal. And I like to blend with a brush, but it's up to you, you could use your finger. And what you're going to do first is you're going to take your dotting tool and just draw out all the hairs on the paper. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I've actually done all this already to save time. But all you're doing is drawing in all the little hairs, all the strokes. If you're looking at a reference, like you could do sweeping motions down here, cut into it. And obviously the reason why I said you'd have to blunt a cocktail stick is because you don't want it to go through the paper. You just want it embossed. And this works great on paper like Bristol board. This isn't Bristol board, but it's a relatively thick paper, so it does emboss it quite well. And that's all you have to do with that. You're just drawing out all the shapes, drawing out all the different ways the hair's going. As you can see, I've got it curling up here, and obviously where the heavier darker shadows are, you don't even need to do it there. Like I said, I've already done all this because it'd be pointless of you just watching me do this, it'd be boring. And that's all you need to do. Long strokes, little hairs, little frilly hairs that go over the top of the lip, little ones that are just under the nose. And then you can start by just scribbling over it with a 2B. You can already see that you've got the impression. It doesn't have to be beautiful, it don't make a difference. This isn't about detail at the minute, you're just basically getting the shape right. We'll go into detail once we get all this scribbling down. Blend out with a brush and you'll see it a lot more, and you can probably see it. I hope you can see it anyway. Then use your 5B, but try and cling to areas that are darker, like from the reference photo that I'm using, that I use for this as well. It's a lot darker in the middle of the mustache, so you can go in dark there. Under the nose, obviously you've got the shadow cast, so that's where I'd want you to stay darker. So you don't need to go in everywhere. Under the mustache, above the lip, obviously that's going to be casting a shadow. And his hair is actually black, so he's got some hair going up into there. Well, darker hair. Again, you still don't need to be perfect where it's. I'm just going to blend this out with a brush in a minute. Blend out with a brush again. Then what I want you to do is take your pencil rubber, whichever brand you got. You don't have to use a pencil rubber, you can use a block rubber if you want, it doesn't matter. I just find you can get more detail with one of these. And just thicken up the white hairs. Because you're not going to see, if you look at someone's moustache, you don't like select out individual strands of hair. Your eyes pick up on certain reflections in the hair, so and they come across as like bunched up hair, so that's what you're going to do with this. All this does is makes some of the hairs look bunched up. Wherever it is on your reference that you can see more of a highlight, that's where you do it. And like I say, if you spent hours on this, you could just spend hours really detailing it. But I'm not going to do that this time because you'll be here forever. You see it's already starting to look like a bit of a moustache. And on the reference that I'm using, he's actually got a black moustache, but there's a few white hairs in there. I didn't pick anything specific, I just typed in moustache in Google and just picked the first one. It just happened to be one of these fancy moustaches. And this is where I'd use my darkest pencil. I'm using a Staedtler Mars Lumograph 8B black because they do go jet black, but they don't blend very well. Well, I say that they don't smudge very well. Not like a normal pencil. I don't know what's in them, but they do go very dark and I love using them. Like I said, you're just following where you were before. It's all black in the middle, under the nose, under the moustache. You can really see it coming out there. And then what you're going to start blending out the darker shadows into the white by just flicking it in. And you'll start to see the strands that you did with the embossed, well, the metal dot tool that you embossed into the paper. Starting to see the strands come out. Now try and make it look random as well. You don't want it to look artificial, because obviously hair is just all over the place. That's why I said like use the rubber where I want you to bunch up the hairs, because it wouldn't look right if you just got tons of individual strands of hair. Still putting in them shadows. Just rub your finger over it so it's not too white. So we'll go back in with the rubber again in a minute. You can see it's pretty quick really. It's like, I haven't spent that long on it. I've probably been going about 3 minutes. It already looks like half decent mustache. If you spent hours in it, you can make it look real. Just constantly adding pencil, rubbing out pencil. It all depends on how you are as an artist. You might not like it as black. If you haven't got one of them metal dotting tools, it might be in your interest to get one if you're interested in doing this. It does make it a lot easier. Because if you're using a ballpoint pen, if it wasn't empty you could still do it. You'd have to put a piece of paper over it, go into it, pull it away, move back in, make sure you're doing it right. Now, I don't always draw hair like this, by the way. It's just thought it'd make a good tutorial. It's a very quick way of drawing hair. I prefer using graphite dust with a knitted eraser to do hair these days. So it's just laid up, like you can see that strands are overlapping other strands. I didn't make this side the same as this side because that's not how it works in nature. Everything's random. Going to sharpen my pencil. And it's got like, to draw some black strands coming out. Hey, nice scraggy moustache. Let's blend it a bit. And then, like I said, another one that's been about 10 minutes probably. 10-15 minutes according to my camera. You could go back in with the rubber. You could spend hours on this. You could go back in the rubber and just highlight up some of your lighter hairs. If you've watched my drawing of the Witcher, I did exactly the same thing on his beard, because in that I couldn't find the right image that I wanted to use for Henry Cavill, so I just found a portrait of Henry Cavill and added my own beard, so all that beard is made up doing this. And obviously on a big portrait it would save you a hell of a lot of time doing it this way. Then you go back to the Staedtler. By the way, I think it's pronounced Staedtler, don't quote me on that. You're probably just best off seeing Lumograph. Kind of draw your dark strands back in. Overlap them, make them look random. And I would also do all this before you put the lips in, because the actual embossing will go over the lips, and if you've got like random stray hairs like I've got one there, that'll look like it's going over the lip. But if you already had the lip drawn in and you tried to do that, you won't get that. So if I quickly put the lip in at the bottom, it goes like that. Just say. And obviously it's going to cast a shadow. If I went that far down with my embossing, it would go over the lip and make it look more natural. As you can see there. And also if you drew the rest of the face in, it would still be down there. Why not? Yeah, it's going to be a quick lip. I'm not going special with the lip. And that's basically how quick it can be. I mean, if you wanted to, you could pull strands down there like that. If you wanted it to be a really scraggy moustache, come away from your reference and literally start pulling hairs down. I'd sharpen it first though. Yep. And if you feel like you don't want any embossing up here, just sharpen your pencil and draw along the line of the emboss, and the actual pencil will go inside it so it goes away. Because I think you need a lot less in these little curves. And there you go, that's how quick you can actually do a moustache and a beard. Took me practically no time at all really. Now so you got his nose up here, so if you quickly draw a nose in, something like that. Not try and be anything special. No, and that's what's casting the shadow. Got the lip and you got the chin. His jaw probably, no. So yeah, I'm done. Hopefully this helped you if you're looking into drawing a moustache or a beard and you're not sure how to do it. This is a very easy and quick way of doing it. And even though it only took me about 20 minutes, if I would have put hours into it, I could have made it look exactly like the reference photo. Please like, subscribe and comment, and share this video if you want to. If you want to know anything else about this, just leave a comment and I'll answer you, I promise. Thank you very much for watching.